Hi, everybody. My name is John Wdowiak, Field Marketing Manager for Coldwell Banker Real Estate Services here in Pittsburgh. And today it's my great privilege to introduce to you Hannah O'Donohue. Hannah was our Rookie of the Year for 2020. So Hannah, let's both of us give you a well-deserved virtual round of applause. Way to go. Way to go. Hannah's in our Cranberry Township office. She finished 2020 with 13 sales and an average sales price of $238,000, which is just outstanding for Western PA, and it's slightly above the market average. So her career is off to a wonderful start. And for those of you who are new to this, let me just tell you that 13 sales in your first year is an amazing accomplishment because there's certainly so much else you're getting used to in real estate sales and transitioning to a new career. Now, we realize there's a lot of unknowns when you first consider getting your real estate license. So we thought, what better way for those of you who are just getting started to hear from somebody who killed it in their first year. So Hannah, first of all, what attracted you to pursue a career as a real estate agent?
So I always knew that I wanted to be in a career where I'm helping people in some way. I went to college at Slippery Rock University and I studied marketing there. But I always found myself looking at houses on the market, constantly checking what's new out there. And so why not combine both of those things, go to real estate school and become a real estate agent? So also my dad is in real estate and my grandfather was in real estate and I have some cousins in real estate. So it might just run in my family
It's a
anyway.
family affair, huh?
It's a family affair.
Yeah, cool, good, good. Now, why did you choose Coldwell Banker to start your real estate career?
So whenever I was taking those real estate classes, we had a lot of different teachers or speakers come in and teach our classes. And after I was done with the classes, I remember it's kind of a funny story, I guess. Um, I was at a restaurant and I heard this voice across the way, and I'm like, I know that person from somewhere. And then it clicked in me that it was Dee Rink who taught one of the classes.
Sure.
So I went over and I just started talking to her. I'm like, I'm taking my exam soon. Do you have any advice? And she goes, well, why don't you stop in and I'll, give you some tips and also talk to you about, brokerage. I work for Coldwell Banker. So I was like, all right, that's perfect. So I went in and I talked to Dee and she gave me all these tips for the exam and how to study. And then she went on to tell me about Coldwell Banker. And after talking to her, I realized Coldwell Banker has so much to offer, and you're not just going in blind. They're there to help you. And everyone in the office, she introduced me to some people, and they were all so nice. So it kind of just made me feel like comfortable, and I really felt like if I needed help, they were all there to help me. So I really liked my decision joining Coldwell Banker.
Cool. Well, we like it too. And nice shout out to Dee. Yep, Cranberry's a great office, great market there. And I'm so happy to hear because, we really haven't talked about this interview ahead of time. I'm so happy to hear that you feel it's a supportive environment because that's absolutely what we're trying to create. As you look back on that first year, was it what you expected? Was there anything that stood out or, how did what's your impressions of that first year?
Well, I feel like this year for everyone was very unexpected.
Sure.
It was definitely a tough year to start my real estate career, but also it's kind of a good thing too because even though it was really hard, getting started during a pandemic, I think I learned a lot during this time. And after the pandemic, after they lifted the restrictions, it kind of just really took off. I work with a lot of first time home buyers, a lot of my friends that are buying houses. And so that you kind of just have to dive in this career and you kind of learn a lot going through each deal and each deal's different. So I think just getting in and starting kind of is an advantage as well because you're going through the motions and you're learning as you're going, which is also back to being supportive environment is nice to fall back on those people that if you have a question, you're not afraid to just go and talk to someone at Coldwell Banker, because we're all like kind of a team, and we all, are there to help each other too.
Mhm.
So even though it was scary starting in the pandemic, um, I do have a kind of a fun memory, I guess, from, going through the motions.
Sure, what's that?
So my first deal that I did where I was representing the seller, I show up to the closing, I'm all excited, and I realized before I walk in that I had the file, I had everything I needed, except I didn't have the key to the house for the buyer. So I'm like, how is this buyer supposed to buy this house and not have the key, the most important part? So I'm like, oh my gosh. So I left the closing, ran, got the key. I was a little bit early too, so I had some time. But then I showed up and I was like, I'm so sorry I'm late. I forgot the key. And that's probably the important part. So I like, but you learn from the mistakes, and it's
Right,
okay to make
right.
mistakes. And so now I'm never going to forget a key
You never
again
forget a key. Yeah.
because of that time.
I think roll with the punches is a pretty a pretty good cliche there, and as you're going along in that first year, especially as you said, in a pandemic. So just one more question for you, and you've spoken to this a little bit already, but we have a lot of people watching this video who have either just finished classes and they're getting ready to test, or they're still in classes, or maybe they're just thinking about the whole idea. What advice would you give to somebody who is considering a career in real estate?
So I think I would just say to be patient, don't give up. It's, everyone always told me the first year or two is going to be, your hardest years. But if you stick through it and if you stick with it, it'll get easier as time goes on. And I went to so many trainings at Coldwell Banker whenever I first started, and I always remember Cheryl saying, at one of our first classes, she said, get out your phone and just start texting and calling everyone you know. And that's kind of how I built my database. I just kind of reached out to everyone I knew, got as many email addresses that I could, and just kind of let people know that, hey, I'm starting a new career. I'm in real estate. If you know anyone or if you yourself are looking, I'd be happy to help. And, everyone starts somewhere. So, you know, that's just kind of how you have to
Mhm.
start is get out there and start talking to people.
Yeah.
But it is nice that Coldwell Banker offers so many trainings because you're kind of not left in the dark anymore.
Yeah.
But
Prospecting is something that we talk about constantly. We even, again, for those of you watching, we offer specific workshops that focus on nothing but prospecting because, as Hannah just told you, that's what you got to do to really get yourself underway. So, Hannah, congratulations on year one.
thank you.
Best of luck in year two. And thanks for taking a little bit of time to share your success with everybody else today. Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you, John.
All right. See ya. Bye bye.
See you.